In our final onboarding, we're really going to talk about the ways to pull the data out of the system, specifically with our new reporting. To access the new reporting, we're going to come down to our reports icon. And when we click that, we're going to be taken to this new interface. So right off the bat, if you've used Maestro for a while, you'll notice a lot of changes. First off, our saved reports now are easily accessible here. You'll see that we have new quick reports. So if we wanted to run a list, let's say, of all business owners or all property owners, with one click of a button, we could click those. Maybe we need a list of all active businesses. Any of those quick reports are kind of one click and it'll take us to that specific report. So maybe we wanted to run reinvestment stats this month, let's say. If you're looking for something that's not in one of those quick reports, or you wanted to just kind of customize your own report, we would come up here to our Run New Report. This is going to take us to our reporting screen. And so from here, we have several options. We want to get our date field. So maybe we're focused on this year, or maybe it's this month, this quarter. Maybe it's a specific date period, and we could go ahead and enter those dates. If we're only interested in statistics and not getting the breakdown, we could click that button as well. And then we can go through and select which one of our reinvestment stats we're worried about. For now, let's just go ahead and select all, because what that's going to do is select all of our reporting stats for this calendar year. And so we'll run this report. It does run in real time, goes very, very quickly. And so now you can see we've got a breakdown of all of our closed businesses, all of our new businesses, and every time we click one of those drill down icons, we get the added information over here. So we get that detailed information. From here, we have two options. We can either download that as a PDF. So if we click on that, it will open a PDF of this report. Makes it very, very easy to share that information with others. We can download that, we can share that, we can email it. We can also save this report if we wanted to. Now for this, it's already one of the quick reports, so we're not going to go ahead and save this, but we do want to start a new report. So we're going to click, out of this, and we want to now maybe get a list of this year. So we'll run that report again. And you're saying, well, Travis, didn't we just run that report? Yes, but what we're going to do this time is we're going to add some filters. So maybe we want to know just the statistics. Maybe let's run all time, actually. We'll run our statistics for all time. So it's going to take just a hair longer. And now we can see all the employee changes, the new businesses, the closed businesses. But this is where we're going to start to add some filtering. This is what our new reporting does, allowing us to filter these reports in ways that we never could before. So maybe address contains Main, because we're just focused on our Main Street. And so you've seen how much those numbers have changed just by filtering that. Maybe it's not that. Maybe we want to know for properties that are in our special service area. And so you'll see those numbers change again. And so we can filter this by any of the fields that are in Maestro. And you'll see this little icon here that says this is something that's actually affected by that particular filter. For instance, events or grants received aren't geo-specific, and so those aren't going to change based on the filter here. But because the filter is property-based, anything that we're looking at that is property-based is going to be changing with those statistics. The other thing that we can do then, and if you're familiar with Maestro, you'll remember that we used to have an advanced search filter and a separate reporting. Well, now we no longer have those, so maybe now we want to get a list of all of our properties. So we can still do that. We can filter properties and scroll down, and we can select all, and we can run our report. And it's going to get us a list of our 543 properties. And we can download that as a CSV file. We can save this search. The other thing that we can do now, though, is we can include filtered objects. So maybe what we want to do is we want a list of all of our properties, but I want every business and every contact that's tied to one of those properties. So now when this runs, it'll take a little bit longer to run, but it actually is going to give us a lot more data back. So you'll notice when we include it in our filtered objects, now we have contacts and businesses and properties. Now, it's not every contact in the system, and it's not every business in the system. It's just businesses and contacts that are linked to our primary filter here, which is properties. So it becomes really easy to start pulling and extracting data that's really specific to what we want. Now, there's other things that we can do with this filtering and the searching as well. For example, one of the most common searches would be, let's say, to come down and do our overview. And we're going to start looking at, if you remember our earlier sponsor, our 101, we put in some blues sponsorships. So we're not going to worry about a date right now, but we're going to go ahead and run this report. So anybody that has, or any business or property that has a Blues in the District note partner. From here now, maybe we want to filter that down to 2016. And so we'll run that report. And what this will do is it filters down, and it's just those people that had this specific involvement attached to them for 2016. Now, maybe we needed a list of all of our sponsors for 2016. So you might think, well, we also want to have involvement has Blues in the District concert partner for 2016. Unfortunately, what that's going to do is it's not going to return any results, or it shouldn't return any results. And the reason is, and we get that notification there, the reason that this won't return any results is because it's looking for people that kind of filter and have both of these. So it's not show me these and these. It's really an or search, because if somebody has a Blues in the District note partner, chances are they didn't also give to you at the concert level. And so that's why this isn't going to return any results. But if we remove this search filter and we turn on another one that has the involvement, Blues in the District concert partner, and maybe we want to do another one, and we can add as many of these as we need, but for the sake of time, we'll only add one more here, and maybe we'll do a song partner as well. And so these OR searches will actually now generate a list for us of everybody that has any of these searches. So if you think of your membership, let's say, and maybe you've got a rolling membership year, so you want to set this up to where it has the tag that we talked about before in 101. So 2022, 2023 member. And in the date column, you remember, that's where we would put our month. And so each month we just come in, change this from 22 to 23, or 22-23 to 23-24 when that time comes, and now we keep a list of all of our active members versus all of our active businesses. And so we can still now download that CSV, or this is where we can actually save this search. So we're going to go ahead and call this 2016 Blues Sponsors, and we're going to save this search. Now, the reason we do that is because we want to be able to come back and we see our 2016 Blues sponsors here. If I click that button, it's going to automatically pull those filters in, pull those search in, and I can constantly get an updated list. So if we're starting to put in 2022 sponsors or 2023 sponsors, you don't want to have to go back to the drawing board every single time. You want to be able to come back and quickly access that information. By saving the report, you're able to come back and generate that list anytime you need with anybody now that's been added since the last time you ran that report. Download that as a CSV and it's ready to go for mail merge, for sharing emails, whatever you need to do. The other thing that we can do in this, speaking of sharing emails, is we can actually send this list to Constant Contact or MailChimp. You remember we connected those in our 101 session. Here we can actually utilize that and either create a new list of 2016 Blues sponsors, and we can send that list directly to Constant Contact, or we can do the same with businesses and we can share that information, create a new list. If we had lists in here, those would populate and we could actually select an existing list and add it to that as well. We'll say 2016 Blues sponsors, and we'll send that to that list. And now if we click MailChimp, that should be there. So those can be sent directly to Constant Contact or MailChimp, and it makes it really easy then to log into that system and be able to start creating emails that will allow you to communicate directly with these folks. The other thing that we want to talk about in this reporting or this 301 onboarding session, we'll come back to our main Maestro screen and we want to talk about the widgets for a second. Widgets are a great way to access information that's already in your system. So all of these dashboards, and we have multiple dashboard options, the only one that you're required to have is your home dashboard. Now, when you first log in, your home dashboard is probably going to look pretty bare. It may only have your task list at the top. In fact, it probably only has your task list at the top. So if you wanted it to look a little snazzier, what you would actually do is come in and add a widget. And so you can add any of these widgets, and it gives you a list of what each one of those does. And from there, you can actually drag and drop these around based on how you want your screen to look. Maybe we want this to be a 2-column, and so we can drag and drop those around. We can also create as many dashboards as we want. So maybe we wanted to come in and add a farmers market dashboard. And so we're going to add this dashboard, and now you'll see it's right there at the top. We can click on that, and it's going to start as blank because we haven't added any widgets to it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add a widget, and in this case, we're going to add a contact list. And just like the rest of our system, the minute we start talking, or the typing, I should say, we can start to select members. And so we've selected those, and now we've got those folks here. Now, if we want to add more, we can just click on the names, and maybe we want to add a few more. And so those folks are now on our list. It's a great way to be able to access people very quickly or access information that's already stored in the system. Maybe we also want to add a quick to-do list. And I call this my Got Milk list. Why do I call it that? Because it's not in any other part of the system, right? This isn't going to be how we assign tasks. We'd learned that in our 201 session. This is really about just keeping myself on task. So I need to remember to get milk. I need to remember to call home, pick up an umbrella, whatever my list is, my personal list. And when I get something done, I can cross that off. And it lives right here on this dashboard and nowhere else. Now, one of the ways that I know it's living on that dashboard and nowhere else is you can see that the farmer's market here is highlighted. If I were to click on Mike, you'll see that the farmer's market's no longer highlighted, and now my icon over here on the left is. When I have jumped to this, anything that's over here that gets highlighted is going to be universal, meaning anybody in my organization would be able, that has the right level of access, is going to be able to see and edit this information. So if I change Mike's company, maybe we found out that Mike is now at Barry's Kitchen. If I save that, everybody that has access to Mike's profile is going to be able to see that that's now where Mike is working because it's shown in red. When I go back to the farmer's market, none of these are highlighted. And so these are very individual. So you can customize your look, your data, without it implicating everybody else in the organization. And so it's just a way to quickly access that information so you don't have to constantly search. And it puts that information again right at your fingertips. As we wrap up our onboarding, we hope that you found this useful. We hope that you have found this beneficial. And we would really encourage you, as always, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. One of the easiest ways is through our bug report and our need help. Again, if you maybe just need a quick refresher on something, click that need help button. That's going to drop you right into our tutorials, our onboarding videos, and you can watch those over and over as many times as you need. If you do see something wrong with the system, go ahead and report a bug. And what that does is it actually goes to multiple people on our team. So it ensures that if somebody's not available, somebody else is there to cover and help you out with whatever it is you need. We're really appreciative of having you as a part of the Maestro community, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks so much.